Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about investment mistakes that I've made. So I've been an investor for the past 5 years. Started during COVID, started paying attention to it closely during COVID, and I have, like any other investors or traders, I have made the inevitable mistakes that everybody will make eventually. So today I want to talk about 5 mistakes that I made, and these are not the only mistakes that I made, but these are the 5 main ones that I want to discuss. So number one, when I bought, number one is buying high on a particular stock and not selling it when it tanks. So what I mean by that is I bought, if you buy a particular stock and it doesn't go up as you expect, it goes down and you kind of just hold it forever instead of selling at a loss. So I think a lot of people will be like, okay, it's gonna recover and I'm gonna make my money back, and then I'm gonna sell it when I'm not taking a loss. Very common mistake. And so I am still guilty of doing that in my portfolio right now, but this is something that I recognize a lot of people make this mistake. Instead of taking a loss short term, and let's say you cap it at 15-20% loss, you could allocate that money. Say you lost like 1K on this 5K investment, that 4K that remaining, you could be using that to buy something else which could have gone up already, instead of you just kind of holding on to this loser. So that's something that I am still working on. The reason why I'm still holding this particular stock that I'm holding is because I'm using options. So that's really, it's already gone down a lot in value, so it doesn't really matter when I sell it now, because it wouldn't really generate any like return for me at all. So I wouldn't essentially get any money back. So that's number one mistake that I seen myself and people make. Number two, following other influencers or other people's advice blindly without doing your own research. So this one is a very common mistake. Any influencer that you see on Instagram, on YouTube, they promote this particular stock, or they shill about this particular crypto and want, kind of as a marketing for this particular stock, and people buy it because they trust the influencer, and without doing any of their own research into it, or look at a few more other people's opinions. So that's something that I've done in the past. I am trying to limit myself to doing that. It's no issue if you are kind of scouting other people's opinions, but you need to do your own due diligence as well. Don't just trust a particular influencer's his own due diligence. Use your own set of method, like develop your own method of what that due diligence is, and then that's how you really build your conviction, right? So if you just follow somebody to buy any stock, and should the stock tank, you wouldn't know why, right? And then if that happens, you're gonna panic. Some people, and investing really is, if you believe in a particular stock, if it tanks, you should be happy. You shouldn't be afraid of it tanking, right? Like if it's tanking, you should be happy that you get at a cheaper price. So in that case, you should be buying more, right? So for me, I used to blindly follow others without doing any research, and then I would panic when it doesn't go my way, right? So that's a very, very common mistake. Number three, not taking profit or hedging your bet when when a stock does go up in your favor significantly. So I, like a lot of other people, bought a lot of MicroStrategy during the crypto bull the last year, or supposed bull, and it did go up to a decent amount of value, right? But like a lot of people, I did not take profit because I thought it was going to continue to go up higher and higher. Let me tell you now, nothing goes up forever. Everything will mean revert back to the mean, right? So it might not go down to your point of entry, but you should be selling on the way up a little bit at a time, or hedging your bet by selling call options. So that's a mistake that is gonna stick with me forever, and when the next opportunity comes, I'm not gonna make the same mistake again. Number 4, a lot of other people as well, selling too early. So hindsight is 2020, right? So for Palantir, let's say, or AMD or Micron, all these stocks I've owned before, and I've owned and I've sold, right? And look at where they are now. So you're always looking back at these mistakes, or like at the time, you wouldn't think it's a mistake, but hindsight is 2020, like I said, and it's looking back, it is a mistake now, right? So I think doing your due diligence, believe in your conviction is the utmost importance. So if you believe you can hold these stocks for a long term and they still have a lot of potential to grow, don't sell it at like a 10-20% profit, right? If it has potential to go 2x, 5x, 10x, you should be holding it for the long term. So that's something that that requires a lot of research and a lot of understanding of your investments. Number 5, and last one for now, is buying into meme or hype stocks. So during the 2021 meme GME AMC craze run, I also bought into the hype as well, right? Like retail investor all pouring the money into GME or all these meme stocks, myself included, thinking it could continue to go up, go against the man, go against the hedge fund corporations, stick it up to them. Once those hedge funds see that, they're just salivating, they're just waiting, they have like unlimited resources, and then they would go short against you, and that's how a lot of retail investors get caught. Just realize that once you take a bet, there's going to be, you're betting against someone else, another trader, someone else. If you believe in a particular stock, somebody is betting against it. So if you're buying something, somebody's selling it to you. So understand why they're selling it to you, and what their reasoning, what is their rationale. And at that time, I think myself and many others kind of get caught in that crossfire, right? Like I have lost money as well. I didn't make a lot of money, but I thought that if you didn't get in at the bottom, like when it first started, or like a few days after it started, then just don't get in at all, right? Like even though you could have FOMO, you could have even though it's continues to run, let it run. You never know if you're going to be exit liquidity, right? Like you never know where the top is going to be. So even though if you do, like that's very, very high risk, right? So for me, manage your risks is also very important. So that wraps up point number 5. So my point is, all of these mistakes is every investors will make these mistakes at some point, and you're bound to lose money in the beginning. Try to limit these mistakes and recognize them as soon as possible, and that's how you build wealth for the long run. So that's something that I'm constantly working on and I'm cognizant of, to try to limit these mistakes moving forward. So these are not the only mistakes, but these are the ones that I could think of for now that are important for everyday investors. Thanks for watching.